Hello everyone, this is Boris from Spatially Aware, and today I'm just gonna quickly show you what I did for the stats mapping challenge that took place last year. So let's get started. Now, as I mentioned already, Stats New Zealand has launched a there and back again mapping competition last year, and the goal was simple: grab the 2018 census commuter data and visualize it, which is what I did. So I grabbed the data, which was in statistical area 2 format. I have also grabbed the NZEUG network centralized and TA boundaries. Now, before I visualize the data, I've decided to process it a bit, do some aggregations and summaries and groupings, just to see how many people in general use motorized vehicles for their commutes, how many people just walk, jog, and cycle and such. I have also used FME for turning those SA2 polygons into points, and I have also used FME to create shortest paths between places of residence and places of work and school. Now, bear in mind, these shortest paths are not the ideal paths, and these are also not necessarily paths people would take to get to their work or school. Now, once I had the data processed and had a look at it, I could already see some interesting insights. So, for example, what you're looking at showcases where people mostly commute to. So that means a lot of people commute to Petone, a lot of people commuting to Wellington Central, but other locations, not so much. Overlaying shortest paths together also gave me some pretty interesting insights. For example, if you have 10 people commuting from 10 different suburbs, but they all commute to one location, for example, Auckland Central, at some point their shortest paths will meet. And this is what you actually see in front of you. What you see is how many times these specific roads are being used by commuters. And the red ones represents quite a lot of commuters are using these roads. Now I understand using Auckland as an example for this is not a good idea because all the roads are heavily used here, but if you drill down and analyze the data a bit more, it gives you some pretty useful insights. Now, to showcase what I did with the data, I've decided to use two forms of visualization. One is cartograms. It's exactly what you're looking at now. You can get the toolbox from online resource, and what cartograms pretty much do is they skew the geometry based on the value of your choosing. The other way of visualizing the data that I have chosen was hexagons. ArcGIS Pro allows us to create hexagonal container grids, and this is what I did. And I have populated these hexagons with the data coming from statistical area units, points, because it's easier to transfer the data from point into polygon than transferring data from polygon to polygon. The other data set I used for populating these containers was the shortest paths, obviously, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty self-explanatory. What you're looking at is the red and orange, the dark orange hexagons are the hexagons that are being used heavily for commuting because the number of overlaps of the shortest paths is very high on these hexagons. Afterwards, I have created a series of web apps using the dual map, double-sided, I can't remember what it's called, web app template. I use the same template for both cartograms and hexagons, as you will see shortly. And this template is pretty useful because it has a slider that enables you to um, slide left and right to see the difference in trends. For example, in this case, see the difference in commuting trends. So as I already said, I use the same template for comparing school commuters and work commuters in hexagonal formats. And I have also created one comprehensive web app viewer for those users that wanted to do some more digging, wanted some more in-depth information. This viewer enabled them to do some filterings and exports and charts and summaries and such. And they could learn how to use it by reading through a quick guide that I have created and was available as a downloadable link in a form of disclaimer slash splash image that was presented to them when they fired up the web app. Now, having all these three different web applications flying around wasn't the best idea to share my results. So I just created a simple ArcGIS site that united all of them in on one single page, which is what you're looking at now. And there was I didn't add any more links. I didn't want to make it too complicated. I just wanted to show and tell. Now, obviously, as a GIS professional, I have approached this mapping competition from my point of view, and hence the result was a bit too heavy and too complex for general public to consume. I wouldn't be able to see your grandpa or grandma breezing through those hexagons and understanding what she's looking at. So both of those cartograms and hexagons required some attention and some more experimentation from the user side because they were not that easy to understand, I think. For me, yes, not for general public. And the other problem I was facing, of course, is the performance. As you can imagine, we were dealing with the nationwide data sets and showcasing nationwide hexagonal grid was pretty hard in terms of performance because the information was quite detailed. So I had to implement some um, um, zoom and visibility limitations so that a user couldn't just zoom out and then see the whole New Zealand because that would have taken forever for the data to load. So I had to put some restrictions there. But other than that, I think the ArcGIS showed again its flexibility because it gave me all the tools I needed to show what I wanted to show. Maybe it wasn't exactly what I meant in first place when I started working on this, but the result was I was quite happy with, and I still have the data, and I still have all the formats, hexagons and such. So if you're interested and you want to have a look at it and you want to play with it, I'm more than happy to share them with you. Just flick me an email or get in touch, and again, I'm happy to share. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.